Hi, my name is Brian Riggs, and this is the last lesson in the Spanish Guitar Techniques series. So in this lesson, we're going to kind of put everything together and kind of use an arpeggio technique, and at the same time use a rest stroke technique to bring out a melody. So what I'm going to do is a song called Spanish Romance, or sometimes it's just called Romance, but you might have seen it in a book or in Tab. It's a very popular song. A lot of people like to play it. A lot of people come to me in lessons asking to play it. So what it is, it has a melody on the high E string. And at the same time, I'm using the other fingers in my right hand to play an arpeggio accompaniment part. So I'll play the song for you real quickly, and we'll kind of break it down, see the different techniques that are used in it, and see if we can get you going playing it right away. So. To get you going playing Romance, what we'll do is we'll start with the right hand and kind of get that technique and that feel going. Once we get that going, it just kind of goes on throughout the entire song. So then we'll kind of look at the left hand shapes, look how to navigate that really quickly. I've included the tab to go along with this, but yeah, hopefully this will help you get going playing the song right away. So with the right hand, what we're going to do is we're going to have like the fingers A, M, and I. For this song, they're kind of assigned to a string. So the A finger plays the high E string, the M finger plays the B string, and the index finger plays the G string. So basically, we're kind of like, you can kind of see how that fits really comfortably on those three fingers. It's kind of like one of the different techniques that you kind of have to get down for finger picking. Earlier on in the second lesson, we were doing tremolo. We had A, M, and I, all on the same string. So now we're going to have the same, very much the same kind of feel, but now on different strings. So you kind of see how all these techniques, they're all kind of the same thing. They're all kind of different aspects of the same idea. It's all kind of connected. So then what we're going to do is this song is in 3/4. So there's 3 beats per measure. And what we're going to kind of do is like a triplet feel. So we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. So you can probably notice my thumb, or P, is going to play along at the same time as the A finger on beat 1. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Now, as if that wasn't enough, one more aspect we're going to add to it. This isn't 1000% necessary, but it would really be nice if you can play, the A finger is always going to play a rest stroke, what we talked about in the last lesson. So why are we doing that? Well, because it's playing the high E string, and in this song, that's the melody. So we kind of want that to be more important. It kind of like sings out above the other parts. It kind of projects it out really nicely. It kind of like has a nice mix. It comes up in the mix a little bit. So the very first note of the song, so I'm going to start with my pinky on the 7th fret of the high E string. Now this is one of those techniques where it's not flashy. It's not, it doesn't draw attention to itself, but it's actually can be kind of hard to do a rest stroke on the high E string and a free stroke, just a regular stroke with your thumb at the same time, and have the notes sound the same. Because what happens is usually you might do, where they're kind of like, they're just off a little bit, or maybe the opposite. It's a little harder, probably not going to be that. It's probably going to be more like this, where it's kind of like this note and then this note, and you got to get them right together. And it's one of those things, it's so subtle and kind of hard to see, but it actually is really kind of not that easy to do at first. I remember it kind of frustrated me at the very first time I did it. So once you get that going, so you can go on. Now if that gives you trouble, you can also just substitute a free stroke with the thumb and then move to the rest stroke. Or even to start with, if the rest stroke's giving you trouble, just kind of do them all free stroke. It's really good either way to develop that technique. Alright, so let's kind of focus on the left hand for a second. So we're going to go second finger on the A on the 5th fret there. And I'm going to slide my second finger down to the 3rd fret, and then the first phrase is now down here, and then I repeat this note again with the bass 1, 2, 3. So that thing where it's kind of like the reason I slide here. Go my second finger on the 5th fret, slide the second finger down. That way I'm kind of in this position here. Let's keep going. Now I'm going to do open. Actually, I'm going to put my first finger here. Now I like to do this. I like to go up to the first finger, slide it up from the 3rd fret, up to the 7th fret. Then I can kind of reach. I kind of like use it as like a launching pad to get to the 12th fret with my pinky. So even if you don't have giant hands like mine, still see if you can kind of take advantage of, like, instead of having your fingers smushed together, like really open them up so you can grab that 12th fret note. So we have open 3, then slide to the 7th fret, and up to the 12th fret. Let's keep going. Then I'm going to put my second finger here on the 10th fret. Now I'm going to shift to the 8th fret with my pinky, and I'll show you why I'm going to use the pinky in a second. This next part is what we're going to do. If you can, try doing like what's called a half bar. Your first finger is going to bar, but only the 3 treble strings, so the 1, 2, and 3 string. And your thumb is actually going to go play the A string open. So coming up here from the 12th fret, 12, the 10th fret with my second finger. And the pinky here, and the reason I do that, so that way it sets me up, because I'm doing the 8th fret twice in a row. Once here, and then here with the A bass. It's kind of a good, whenever it's possible, it's not always possible, but if it is, to play the same note twice in a row, use the same finger both times. Otherwise, I actually surprised myself how good I did there, but I actually, like, you know, have to jump really fast. But this way, once again, it's not flashy. That's sort of the point, though. It doesn't call attention to itself. Yeah, let's keep going. So now we're on the 5th fret, 7th fret, use your 3rd finger there, pinky here. Now this is kind of tricky, so you can kind of hold on to this note as long as possible. Now we're going to do a full bar on the 7th fret. Then I'm going to put my middle finger on the G string on the 8th fret. So we go 7th fret, 8th fret, 7th fret. Now here, once again, this is kind of tricky. All the way up to 11 with your pinky. Back to the 3rd finger on the 8th fret there. So once again, you might not have giant hands like me. To help you reach up to the 11th fret, see if you can do this thing where you kind of twist to the side on your left hand and grab that note. That'll make it a little easier. If you're kind of back here like this, it really is hard to reach that note. Even I have to like really stretch. You notice how my finger is like really like straight. You want to be able to, if possible, keep that curve to the finger, and I can do that by kind of like twisting over to the side. So the whole phrase is 7, 8, 7, 11, back to 8, 7. Then here you're going to come out of it, right, it's kind of like the beginning, 7. So now we're doing all open again. 5th fret with your 2nd finger. And I slide down to the 3rd fret. Now here, I'm going to this B7 chord shape. You may be familiar with this chord shape. So to kind of help me get into that cleanly, going 3, 2, and then open. So what am I doing then? Open, I'm kind of like getting the chord ready. As soon as I get the open, I'm getting the chord shape in midair above the note that I have to play. That way I can kind of like land right in the chord. It's tempting sometimes. Think open, okay, I'll open easy, like I'll just relax and like whoops, I gotta come back over here. So you kind of use that open to kind of sneak up on that chord again. Once again, it's not very flashy, not very noticeable, but that's kind of the point. B7s, we're going to go with the thumb on the 5th string. It's kind of tricky here. Now what I'm going to do is like my thumb's going to go with the D string. That's kind of tricky. I'm like my pinky is going to kind of like do that kind of that leaning over thing again. And I got to like use the same finger. Go up to the 3rd fret, and now I'm going to bring it back down. So that probably is a little tricky. 2nd fret, lean up there, and then pull it right back. And we're almost done. And the last part, do this E minor chord. So the thumb here is kind of cool. The thumb's going to be on all 3 beats, just to change things up a little bit. So we're going to play the thumb on the D string. So you should have just that typical E minor shape down already. So D string, you play the A string with the thumb. Then here you're going to like use your 3rd finger to grab the 3rd fret of the low E string. And then you kind of do a block chord. If you want, you can do like a nice brush with your thumb. Just kind of use your wrist to kind of brush the strings toward the floor. It's kind of different than the raw scale we talked about before. Here we kind of want that kind of nice, silky, kind of, nice, gentle sound. Or you can do, and just kind of do this, where it's kind of almost like you feel like you're like opening a bottle with your hand. Like you're just kind of doing a block chord, where the thumb's kind of moving this way, and instead of fingers, I, M, and A are kind of moving this way. So by now, I hope that you have some tools and some ideas of if you want to approach any other classical pieces that you might find in a book or on a tab on the internet or anything else like that, that you feel like you have some tools that you can make sense of it and kind of expand your playing and have something to work with. So I hope you enjoy playing Spanish Romance and all the other techniques that are in the other lessons. So thanks for watching and good luck.